Hey, coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip right here on the good old YouTube. Brought to you by JustPlay Sports Solutions and the JustPlay app. You need to go and check out my conversation on the guest coach series with my buddy Brad Rumsey. He's a rep with them, former D2, D3, OC, and OL coach on the wide zone. And he also demonstrates how easy the playmaking tool is. All right, this video and two more on the inside runs are complimentary of the most recent podcast where I talked about the run game and what you should carry and what you shouldn't carry. And we spent a big chunk of that talking about A-gap plays. Recently on social media, on several Facebook groups, including Football Talk with Coach Chip on Facebook, and my Twitter/X, I asked the question, what's your favorite A-gap run? Got all kind of great answers. You know, the gut, which the gun T guys call it the belly. The trap was the number one answer overall. Some put duo, some said zone, midline, and there was all kinds, A-gap power. And it was all kinds of different. But the number one answer overall is probably more indicative of the people that are on my page and on the other pages that is trap right than it is anything, is the kind of coaches that they are. So I said in the podcast that I was going to be doing videos on the inside run. Now you see here on the title card, it says gut right, trap right, zone right. I'm not going to cover zone in these videos because I've already done several zone videos in the past. And when I say zone, okay, if you're a true zone guy, do not watch those videos. There's a trigger warning. If you watch them and you get triggered, I'm not responsible because it's not real zone. It's a country zone, whatever you want to call it. What we needed to do at the time when we decided to do it, very modified, very tweaked, if you will. It worked for us, and it may work for some other coaches too. So, but I'll have that linked in all three of the videos that I'm going to make about inside run. It will be linked, so you can go back and look at that, and you can also get I'll link up the videos, and you can get the free resource on how we did it by hitting me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com. But this video, and it's going to be a series of 3 on the trap, the gut, and the lead ISO, which is an old school play. And I want to show you how we did that back in the day. And it's pretty cool stuff. So this one is particularly on the trap. All right, so let's pay our bills like we always do. All right, here's the GPS system, the gun power spread system. It's only $100. But here's the cool thing. You hit me up and say, Coach, I want to try it out. I'll send it to you for 2 reasons. I trust coaches and I trust this system. I trust that the majority of you that get the trial are going to be like, holy cats, I got to get this. And you're going to keep it. And those of you, for whatever reason, decide it's not your cup of tea, I trust coaches that you're going to delete it from your device, delete it from your computer, and go on from there. So hit me up and you'll see why when you dive into it. It's expansive. It's over 500 pages. It gets renewed, updated, if you will, every year. I've already done one update since I released it back in the winter. I updated it in the spring of 25, and I'll update it again in the winter of 25 and 26. And I'm going to be adding some more passing stuff to it and things that we did at different times. Okay, you can't do everything in it. I talk about that in the recent podcast, Football Talk with Coach Chip, the podcast. You can find it wherever you get podcasts. I said, this system is analogous. You like that word? That's another Troy State University education word, buddy. The Harvard of the wiregrass shining through. It's analogous to the Cheesecake Factory and their menu. It's very thick, but you can't run all of it. Not even in one season. You go through it like a buffet and say, okay, we got the kids to do this. We got kids. This year we need to major in this because we got a quarterback that can really go. So we're going to run a lot of read stuff. Okay, we got a quarterback with a good arm, but he's not a great athlete running the ball. So we'll do the RPOs. That's what I mean by it's a large menu where you pick and choose. You don't do everything that's in it. Please, for the love of Vince Lombardi, don't try to do everything that's in it. So check out the GPS system. Spread them and shred them, baby, with GPS. Also, the offensive line manual for gap down backer blocking, unleashing the power of angles and leverage. And we're going to talk about a little bit of that today as we look at the trap, which is, there's some kind of debate whether it's gap scheme or not. And I'm going to show you why it is gap scheme when we go through it. But check it out. I'll tell you what we'll do. Trial run. You can get it on Amazon. If you want to give Jeff Bezos some money, because God bless his heart, we know he's about homeless and destitute. So you can get it on Amazon, or you can order it directly from me, siegel.chip@gmail.com. Or you can say, Coach, give me a trial copy. I will send you the ebook. You check it out and say, man, this is good stuff. And then pay me and give me your address, and I'll mail you the paperback. It looks just like this right here. The ebook is wonderful because it's a Google slide format. So you can pull it up on your big screen and make presentations to your kids and your coaches. And then, of course, the paperback, it's always good to have. So you can highlight in it, you can write in the margins, and mark it up and make it a working book. So check that out. The offensive line manual for gap down backer blocking, only $30 if you get it from me. And if you get a 1 penny discount if you go and get it from Bezos over at Amazon. That's up to you. If you've already ordered it from Amazon, that's how you found this channel, and you want the ebook, take a picture of the book, send it to me. Say, hey, Coach, I ordered it from Bezos. And I'll send you the ebook because you've already paid for it. All right, please be sure to like this video. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. It really helps old Coach Chip out. And while you're doing all that, go ahead and share it. Just click on the share link and put it on your social media and share it with all your coaching buddies as well. It really helps. There's no strings attached. But here's the cool thing. If you subscribe to the channel, I have over 60 free resources available to you just for the asking, but you have to subscribe to the channel to get that. I mentioned the podcast earlier and the most recent podcast, as I make this video, came out this morning. Sunday, I'm touching my phone to get the date. Sunday, August 10th of 2025. And this goes along with this video and the two companion videos about the gut and the lead ISO go along with that podcast. So go ahead and wherever you get podcasts, Spotify, Apple, or wherever, and find Football Talk with Coach Chip, the podcast. There's a few on there of just me talking ball, but a bunch of guests from all levels of coaching. All right, as we said in the past, it is brought to you by the channel, the podcast, all things Football Talk with Coach Chip, brought to you by JustPlay Sports Solutions. Let's go right now and listen to a word from them. Hey, coaches, let me tell you about our partners over at JustPlay Sports Solutions. All the play diagrams on Football Talk with Coach Chip since the spring of 2021 have been done by the My JustPlay app JustPlay Sports Solutions created. You can find it at myjustplay.com. Team packages, individual packages, which is what I got. With the team package, you create your playbooks, you make scout cards, you can add video to the play so the diagram literally comes to life. The players get an app, they put it on their phone, so you don't have to print any more playbooks, any more game plans, any more scouting reports. And since players never go anywhere without their phones, their playbook is always with them. Contact my buddy Brad Rumsey at brumsey@justplayss.com. brumsey@justplayss.com, or call him by phone at 517-937-5433. Tell him Coach Chip sent you. All right, welcome back. Check out the Just Play. Hit him up. He'll do a demo for you. Or go check out on the Guest Coach series. I did it last week, so it's early August of 2025 is where you'll find it. If you want to look it up and search for it, it's Wide Zone with Brad Rumsey, the same guy that's listed right here. He's a whale of a coach too. Just Play Sports Solutions, and his family's gain is football's loss. But check it out, and and he demonstrates it very well when he's doing his wide zone clinic presentation. All right, let's talk about the trap. And I broke it up so these wouldn't be just hour-long videos, try to keep them somewhat short. And you see several different ways we run it. We ran it from gun several years ago. I think the last year we ran it was 2015 or 2016. It was right before we went on those runs, those deep playoff runs. And we'd made a few deep playoff runs before that, but that was under center days. And then we slipped over to gun and had an off years. We were growing with a bunch of young guys. And then we started in 16 with the deep runs. And we were running it just like it is right here in the upper left-hand corner. And we'd bring our slot, our Z, in motion like it was jet. And he would bubble back right before the snap, then stop and come out here and get in pitch relationship. So we were running triple option with trap because we knew it wouldn't hit fast enough in gun. And eventually that's why we went away from it. And it was just getting, we didn't want to carry that many blocking schemes. And those of y'all know I only carry 4. Jet, buck, power, counter, gut. That's it. Jet, buck, that's 2. Power, counter's 3. Gut is 4. Yeah. So we only carried 4 blocking schemes, run blocking schemes. And the reason why is because we started throwing the ball a good bit and we had to spend time on pass protection because we didn't want to just, do traditional, what we had done under center amount of time spent on the passing game. We were going to throw the ball. You got to break it down. If you're going to be 30, 40% pass, your practices better be 30, 40% pass and vice versa. The old days when you throw the ball 10 times a game, you get away with 15% of your practice time being put toward it. But I always look at it that way. Break it down and see how you do it. So anyway, we're looking here at the trap, and this is why it's kind of a gap scheme. Now, right here is not indicative of the way we blocked it when we were under center, and you'll see that down below if you've already looked. And then we evolved and went to the RPO game, so we would turn out on that backside defensive end so he couldn't run the play down, and we wouldn't block the backside inside linebacker, the will here, and read him on the RPO and run our little slant sit right in there behind him. And if he, if he took off, if he saw the guard pull and he took off, would disconnect and throw it. Now, the way we blocked it under center, it truly was gap scheme. Lower left-hand corner, lower right-hand corner. Our rule was, and we still do this to this day on our powers, on our counters, we don't block anything outside the kick. So if the kick is a 4 or a 3 on trap, we're not blocking a 5 or a 7 or a 9. If they fall in and make the play, they better be falling in and making the play, 4 or 5 yards down the field. We're hitting that thing. And by the way, we don't hug the trap. We hug the down blocks. And if you look at right here against an odd front, we're down, 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 but miss. That's it. You don't block the trapper. I mean, it was one time one season or 2 or 3 where we would call out the number of the guy we were trapping. And it was an inexperienced line. And eventually we quit doing that when we had more experienced kids, and they knew it was this cat right here. And then sometimes they would do it and act like they weren't doing it, be nonchalant or say something about it. And we would call long or short. Usually we didn't call short. Short means you're trapping a 2 or 3, like you see in the lower right-hand corner, right here. And we'd call Texas right here in the lower left-hand corner because that's a longer trap. Texas Longhorns, you get it? So we'd call Texas. The front side would call Texas if it was going to be anything outside of a 3. So right here we wouldn't call anything. He would know, we would assume the default is it's a shorter trap. And if they were if it ended up being a 4 or a 5, we'd call Texas. But the rule is trap the first DL head up to outside the play side guard. So we would block a 2, a 3, a 4I, a 4, or a 5 if a 5 is the first thing outside the guard. For instance, an underfront, when you have a 2I or a 1 to the play side, that's the only time we would block that nose. That way, a guy on that side of the line of scrimmage on that side of the ball. So we ran it this way. Now, I will tell you this. In a perfect world, we would check it. We would check it to the 3. Because I would rather run it because the angle is so much better. Well, I got a couple of more slides right here. All right, now here you see this is it versus the underfront, and we've checked it. Let's just say we call trap. We may say trap, check with me or whatever, but we call trap, and we get the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback would call red or green, whatever the word was that told them we're running the ball. We're running the called play to the right. It's some kind of word, whatever word it is you use, Rip, Liz, I don't care. So we would check it, and you say, well, why is that? It's the angles. The angle is so much better. And, I'm all about angles. I wrote an entire book about leveraging angles with the offensive line manual. But look at the angle is so much better versus a 3. And if you do it over here, he has to bend that joker. There it is versus the under, running it 2. Now it's not an A-gap play. And the only reason it's on here is to show you why I prefer running it to the 3. Because now look at the drastic angle he has to take, even if he hugs that down block on the 2-eye or the 1. So it's just not, and it comes right here. Now you're really multiplying the odds of the 9 right here, falling in and making the tackle for a less than good gain, because the angle right here, and it doesn't hit as fast. People talk about the trap not hitting fast versus in gun. When you're in gun, it doesn't hit as fast. But I'll tell you, I don't care if you're under center. If that joker, if you're running it to the shaded nose versus an underfront, I think it hits slower than it does in gun. If you're running it in gun to the 3, go back and look. Now see, look at the angle. And again, something else I mentioned, and this is a coaching point that I believe in, and this is one of those things where I'm very easy to get along with. I know there's more than one way to skin a cat, but y'all, you got to teach your running backs, whether it's trap, power, counter, gap scheme, hug the down blocks, be close to that rump line, as a term from the OL manual. The line of rumps created by the down blocks. In this case, he wants to hug like this block on the nose, this block on the wheel backer. Don't hug the trap. Don't run. And young players, or when you introduce it for the first time, may be tempted to run out there. And just recently, I've told y'all that I'm back coaching. I'm volunteering as an O-line guy at a small private school up above us. And we had a kid that been playing wide receiver his whole life, and we've got him at running back now. He's grown a little bit. It's his senior year, and we're going to let him run the ball. And he's run it on jets and on screens and after he catches, but not like from the backfield. And we were running power last week, and I said, hey, buddy, I said, stay away from the kick-out block. And on counter, stay away from the kick-out block. I said, hug the down blocks, hug the rump line. We were in an inside run period, and I said, hey, run it again. Let's walk through it. We walked through it, and I told everybody stop on the whistle. They stopped. Boom. I said, you see it, that line of butts right there? Hug that. Get as close as you can to it without tripping over their heels. So the same thing applies to trap, so you can see the way that we traditionally ran trap from under center when it was so quick hitting. It is gap scheme. I mean, look at it. It's just like, it's gap down backer, void that guy. Gap down backer, boom. There you go. And if we ran it to the tight end side, where you've got the 1 or 2 eye, the 5 and the 9, gap down backer, boom, he's got the nose. Gap down backer to the backside backer, gap down backer, void him, VOID, because he's the first dude. He's the first dude outside of the guard, and that's who we're trapping. And you may have to call out numbers. You may have to identify or make a Texas call like we did. I say, Coach, you're giving us all your secrets. Well, we don't run trap. We're on volunteering right now. So it's okay. All right. I told you it wouldn't be very long. It's under 20 minutes right now, right at 20 minutes. So be sure to check out the other 2 videos where I'm going to talk about the gut and the lead ISO. Those are the next 2 videos that are going to be in a in a playlist together, and they're all going to come out at the same time. I'm going to time them up where they come out together. All right. Opportunity to support Football Talk with Coach Chip. Buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip. Somebody bought me a few cups of coffee just yesterday because I was helping them out on some stuff, consulting with them, and I love it. Thank you very much. The coffee, which I don't drink, is very much appreciated, but I assure you it will not go to waste, and it will buy me the beverage of my choice. It is brewed like coffee, but it's a different brewing process. So check that out, buymeacoffee.com. I've had a few guys just send me a cup of coffee or two and say, Coach, just thanks for what you do. And that's cool. I don't do it for the coffee, and I don't do it for the thanks. If nobody ever said a word to me, I'd still do it. If I was just going out into the ether and nobody ever watched it, it's good for me. I enjoy it. Hey, when you subscribe, I mentioned earlier, you get access to these. It's over 60. It's up to 63 free resources. All of them, except for the ones from other people's playbooks, 1 through 10, 11. All right, so 52 of these, all done by the JustPlay Sports Solutions JustPlay app. And you'll see when you get them how easy it is. They're great to look at. They're easy to follow. And it's better than anything I've ever done. And when you're actually creating them, it's just so easy. And it really is awesome. You know, everybody wants to learn from their mistakes, but why? When you can learn from mine. You know, you got the opportunity to learn from my mistakes. I've been coaching for over 40 years. I've made my share, I assure you. And I've got guys that'll hit me up and I'll say, yeah, I tried that. It didn't work out too well. And here's what happened to us. Or here's what you need to do to avoid that because I did this and it didn't work, or we did this and it didn't. So here's your chance to learn from the many mistakes of Coach Chip and grow as a football coach. Over 40 years of experience and mistakes is just an email away. I'm available for in-person or Google Meet, clinics, consultations, and installs. So contact me at siegel.chip@gmail.com and we'll make it happen. I just did one yesterday. A guy had his scrimmage and we talked for about an hour about the results and about how things went. So until next time, y'all, be elite.